all the mistakes that come. So the story is, I was on tour in Australia, and I was getting ready for a show. My dad had passed away about 6 months earlier, and well, you know, that's just always a hard transition, losing a parent. So I was backstage getting ready for this show, and there's a girl who was working back there, and she was, I guess like our server. She was just there to make sure our food got there and help us out with whatever we needed, which is very kind. But one of the first things I noticed was that she had a lot of tattoos. That's not uncommon today. People have a lot of tattoos. This seemed, I'm not being judgmental here, just, it seemed like maybe excessive a little bit. I mean, you know, teach their own. It's just that, like, some people get, like, sleeves, like a big theme, you know, or, like, there's, like, some sensual idea. This was different than that. This was, it was cool, but, like, you know, it just seemed like a lot of little ideas just collecting randomly. Like, oh, there's a spot on my arm that I haven't had inked yet, and I really enjoyed my breakfast today. So I think I'm gonna put something. I'm gonna put a Cheerio right there, and then that happened, and then, like, I don't know. I saw a really beautiful blade of grass earlier, so I'm gonna put that here, and then it was just like a huge just collection of just really odd, like odds and ends is what it seemed like. But there was one, like, reasonable sized tattoo, and this is why it all stood out to me, I guess. There's this one big rectangle on her forearm, and on the rectangle was lines, 5 in a row, and then space and the 5 lines, and then on those lines was dots with other lines, and it was very quickly clear to me that it was sheet music, right? Which was interesting. I've seen like a barbed wire tattoo of like musical notes, but I hadn't seen someone actually get like a sheet music like tattooed on their arm. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I wonder what song that is. So then naturally I asked her. I said, what song is that? And she said it's Desperado by the Eagles, which is a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. It is a beautiful song.
Yes, it is.
It might be like kind of like a weird song to have tattooed sheet music for a young 25-year-old person. Kind of caught me off guard, you know. So I will say I was nervous to ask what the song was because I do read music, and I know that people often get tattoos in other languages that they don't speak. And they think it says one thing, and then you have to be the unfortunate person to inform them that it's that does not mean tree of life. It means you fill in the blank. So she must have caught my look of surprise when she said Desperado, because she very quickly informed me that it was her father's funeral song. At which point it really clicked for me, you know. And I also felt a little bit like a jerk for being judgmental. Not that I was being judgy. But she wanted to tell me the story of her father. He lived for 50 years. 50 years. He was born on October the 16th. He lived for 50 years and then passed away on October 16th. That's a weird thing, like of natural causes. He lived a rough life, but just a weird way for that thing to happen. And she said a year later, her daughter was born on the 16th. And she said, it's bittersweet. And I thought, that's kind of how life is, That kind of sums everything up perfectly. It's plenty bitter. There's plenty of hard things that we have to face. But thank God for those sweet ones. Those sweet moments that remind us that life is worth living for. That life is truly beautiful, despite all the hard things. And then I grabbed a pen and paper and then immediately wrote down this song. This is a little bit sweet. Please forgive the way I look right now. This little guitar.
Sweet 16, never meant a lot to me until the time I had to see you go. The strongest eyes, I never thought that they'd say goodbye. You were always a desperado. Well, life is bittersweet, but a little bit sweet makes it better. Well, bittersweet, but a little bit sweet makes it better. Yeah. A year gone by, when I heard the first cries of my darling daughter dear, and in her eyes a distant memory of last goodbye. They were strong without fear. Well, life is bittersweet,